what's important for you to understand is everything in this company works synergistically. The cycles, we'll talk about that, work, to get the binary cycles, with the matching bonuses and the leadership bonuses, which we're going to talk a lot about going through. So the people who want to make a lot of money or people are looking for tremendous income, we'll talk about that and teaching you how to get a tsunami of people moving forward and going out there. But we want to just show you and share with you the magic of this thing. And what it becomes is I want this to become a habit of yours, of what you do each and every day to become successful. And, habits are important, and now we're going to talk about that before we get started. But, habits are the intersection of knowledge. It's it's how you do things. Plus skill, how to do. Knowledge is what to do. Skill is how to do. And then desire. The most important thing is want to do. So you need to want to do the leadership bonus. You're going to want to learn how to do a minimum amount of cycles for you to go out there. We call the 125 cycles to do it. We first must make our habits, then our habits will make us. And so we're going to teach you guys some basic habits of what it takes, and it's going to take really desire. It's going to take you to move forward. Some of you guys are going to get knocked down, and we're going to teach you to get right back up. It's not about how hard you get hit. It's about how hard you're willing to come back from no matter what blow you have. And it really doesn't matter, what your education level is or whatever it is. What your determination will determine your destination. It doesn't matter how slow you go as long as you keep moving forward and don't stop. A river cuts through rock, not because of its power, but because of its persistence. And so with all that being said and done, I'm going to go through this training now with you and get started and looking forward to it. First of all, what we're going to call this is we call the road to leadership. And I'm going to just, again, share with everybody just the basics so we get started. What is a binary? That's the compensation plan that we have in our company. There's two teams. There's a left team and a right team. So very simple and basic. And the left team over here, as you can see, you're looking to accumulate 300 points. And you can do in any amount, 3,000, 9,000, 10,000. It really doesn't matter. But for every 300 points on your left team, it'll combine with 300 points on your right team, and every time 300 points matches up on both sides, you'll get a cycle. So in other words, 300 is one cycle, 3,000 and 3,000 is 10 cycles, 30,000 on the left and 30,000 on the right is going to be 100 cycles, so on and so forth. 90,000, of course, would be 300 cycles. So again, we're looking for a magic number here of 125 cycles, and I'll explain why that's the magic number. But I'll take another look at the binary here. This is a bigger view. If you go out there and teach people how to do this, we're looking for duplication. You're going to learn how to do it first. And once you learn how to do something, then you'll have the knowledge. There's learned knowledge like you're going to get today. You're learning it on the computer. Then there's activity knowledge, which is you going out there and doing the activities each and every day to become successful. And then you're going to go out there and, doing it really is, in my opinion, the activity knowledge is what you really are going to learn how to do. And then there's the modeling knowledge. I'm going to talk about some people who have done it and go out there and model. But here's a binary. And if you can see all the green, those are people you sponsored. In a perfect world, I would like to have 1 and 2 right here front line to me. I would sponsor the first on my left and the first on my right. Why? Because if I expect to have a good team, both of my legs are going to be good. I'd like to sponsor both people front line. In reality, does that always happen? No, not in reality. But if you really want to, the best possible thing for you is to have number 1 here and number 2 here. Obviously, in this example, that's not the way it is, but everyone in green is the people you sponsored. And if you teach this to go on with other people, you're going to see this thing happen simplistically and with duplication, helping people go out there. What you focus on grows, ladies and gentlemen. So what I mean by that is you need to focus on your business. You need to focus on whatever time you have to get this business so that you can get duplication. Most people don't spend enough time on their business. We're actually in the business of a volunteer army. We're finding people in the people attraction business. We're trying to attract people. And before I go forward, no matter where you are with i2G or where you are in your life and whatever time you started, you first must decide that you're happy exactly where you are today. So we're looking for people who are happy exactly where you are right now, but not content. I'll repeat that. That includes me with this statement. Be happy where you are today, but not content. It means you want more, but you first must be okay. It doesn't matter if you've never made a leadership bonus. It doesn't matter what kind of incomes you made. It does not matter. We all are basically here today, and if we don't go to work, we don't focus, including myself, including any of the top leaders in this company. We need to go forward and consistently have a habit of determination and persistence, and you go out there and go to work. So again, be happy where you are. And if you're in the people attraction business, you need to understand that people want to hang around positive people. They don't want to hang around negative people. The greatest recruiters in the world are the miserable people. Misery loves company. They recruit incredibly well. You need to be absolutely positive and create an environment of success that people want to be attracted to, and you're going to find a lot more people joining your business. Let's get started now with explaining to you how to become a builder in this business and go out there and combine the two things that are most important in building your business. First, let's talk about recruiters versus builders. We have both. You need to sponsor people to build your business. You cannot build a business without sponsoring people. You need one on the left and one on the right in a binary to activate any kind of sales in cycle. You can't even cycle unless you act. So you must be able to recruit. You must be able to sponsor people. At whatever level, you must learn the activities necessary to sponsor. And we'll talk about those. And again, a lot of great trainings on how to recruit, how to sponsor, how to close, and how to follow up. We're going to work on leadership. So I want to make sure that you must recruit, but I want to just put there, if you notice, recruiters make money. They absolutely do incredibly well. But if you can take your recruiting ability and add it to becoming a builder, which is somebody who does recruit, not once in a while, but actually focuses on it, but also focuses on building those and getting duplication. Because with a team of people showing the business and sharing the business, you can do an incredible amount. Builders make a lot more money. They're also set a plan of action and a method of operation. Success happens by design, not by accident. Many of you guys have heard about all the incomes in this company and how great i2G has gone off to a great start. I promise you, everyone that you're looking at has done it by design, not by accident. This happens by design. And what are you willing to do to get what you want? That's your decision. Each and every one of us has to make our own decision, but you must take the time to know what you're willing to do to get there where you want to go. They take a plan of action for themselves and those that they sponsor. So I'm going to take that. Not only do you have a plan of action, you first must have a plan of action and a method of operation for yourself. Then you must work with those that you sponsor. And remember, they don't have the same plan of action you do. They'll have their own plan of action that fits their lifestyle and their skill sets and their leadership abilities. And whatever level and method of where they're at in their life, they have a plan for themselves. Remember, don't force your plan on others. Plan perfectly for what is available for each and every person. Each and every one of us are different individuals. So again, become a builder. That's your goal. You must be a recruiter. You must learn how to sponsor. You must be good at it. You must have those skill sets. But become a builder and add all the tools necessary to become successful and become a leader and work through these leadership ranks. With that, I want to just explain how do we work the month. And I'm going to go over this fairly simple. It's right there. First 10 days, you must set a plan. In the first 10 days of the month, set a plan. Right now, we're nearing the end. We're going to be closing out the month. But with that being said, who is ready to work with you? You must find that out. It's a question mark there, but that is the ability for you to go out there. We'll talk about what that takes, and we'll talk about what that does. The next 10 days, the middle 10 days of the month, a key word I love is be aware and understand. When you're not aware and you don't understand, I can't fix, I don't know. No one can fix what I don't know. So we look at the activity to see who's really working with you. Basically, see who's walking the walk and who's just talking. Go out there and you can actually see it. Who has people in the pipeline, who doesn't have people in the pipeline. You must be aware, especially in the middle of the month, because coming down to the last 10 days of the month, you need to focus in on those who are going out there and building and closing out the month with those who are working, those who are actually getting results or coming close. We have a few people coming close to leadership ranks this week, and we're working with them. We're focusing on them. We know who they are. We're working on them. Some of them are in their first month. Some of them are in their second month. They're going to close out and become effective and get a leadership rank in the next couple of days. You can do incredible amount of volume in the last 10 days or the last 3 days of a month if you absolutely know who's out there and work with those who are looking to get volume. The next area, really in the first couple of days that you get started, you basically, when you set up a new team member for success, you bring in somebody, and it's the first few days, you sponsored somebody. Again, we need to recruit. Within the first 24 to 72 hours, in other words, first 1 to 3 days, you need to actually go out there and help them with a plan of success. Get them into a plan and what works for them. Get them to understand what their goals are, their dreams are, what they can control. Leaders only focus on what they can control. You can't focus on what you wish they would do, you want them to do. You can't control that. That's their life. Leaders focus on what they can control. You're going to teach them, and we'll talk about training and that on another training, but we need to make sure we focus on what we control, and what we can't control is exposure. We can only talk about what we can talk and show the business to, so we want to get a plan of action with them. We're in the business of attracting joiners to find winners. Now, repeat that. We're in the business of attracting joiners to find winners. And the only way you're going to find winners is to go out there and have a plan of action and spend some time with them in the beginning of their business and get them a plan of success, find out what they want. They're looking to make a lot of money. Let them know that it can absolutely be done. Have there been people who've made a tremendous amount of money in 5 to 6 months here? Absolutely there have. Is that possible for others to do it? Absolutely it's possible. There's been about 12,000 people so far in the company, and there's some people who've made tremendous amount of money. Is it easy to do? No. Winners want to know the truth. It takes focus. It's a lot of fun. This is an incredible business. It changes people's lives. I love working it. I have more fun, but not everybody is going to be successful. Not everybody's going to work hard enough for success. Most people are going to do just enough to get by, and at some point they're not going to be determined enough and persistent enough to stick around. I love the phrase, and I persist. I will persist until I succeed. And again, we're in the business of finding attract joiners to find winners, and winners understand it is not easy, but if you do what we've done, you do what some of the leaders have done, you can get what we've done. But you must, though it's possible. It's certainly not lottery mentality. Much, much easier than that, much more able to do it, but again, you must go out there and put in the hours and be focused to do it. You're looking as a goal to hit 125 cycles. Why? Because that's the bottom to become bronze. You don't need to worry about the rest. We'll talk about it, but 125 cycles. If you teach every new person to go out there and shoot, if they say, I want to make a goal and I want to make a lot of money, I'm looking to make, if they happen to say thousands of dollars a month, then you need to say, need to shoot for 125 cycles in a month, and we need to do it consecutively and make that a habit. Again, make that a habit to try to go over that every single month, 125 cycles. And somebody said to me, what if I only get 60 cycles and I don't get it? And I said, well, if you're a high roller, that's $3,000 in cycles. If you're ever, it's more money than that. It's, you're going to be out there in a situation where you're going to make some good money, and that's not including your fast start, and that's not including your matching bonuses, not including profit sharing. So again, with all that being said and done, even if you aim high and you understand the minimum we're looking for, if people want to 125, this is 125 cycles, nothing less, will put you in a position to do this and become successful. So what I need you guys to know is 125 cycles is what you need minimum. And if you go out there and teach that to others, you'll get your goals. Now, you get working your month. It's very simple. So after you set a plan of action, the method of operation equals exposures. The money is in the show. Those who show the business will sign up the most people. The money has always been in the show. The sign-ups are a result of how well you expose the business. There's many ways to expose the business, and it's certainly not talking a long time and sharing, through craziness. It's about getting into action and making sure that you're productive. Productive time versus preparation. Today on this call, you're preparing for success. You're not being productive. Productive is only one thing. And remember this, it's either sharing or showing the business to someone you know, sharing and showing the business with one of your team members that you sponsor, help them grow their business, or going out to find somebody to share and show the plan of the business with. And that's it. Everything else you do is preparation. Preparation is necessary for success, but you must have productive time in exposing the business. Become good at exposures. Again, we do a lot of training, but there's a lot of tools. Third party is what's in best. Even with myself, it's always third party. It's who's out there that I could show. Whether you got the tools, whether it's a video that you want to send out the video, whether it's showing a PowerPoint, whether it's a webinar, whether it's a conference call, whether it's the Google Hangouts that we do, whether it's a live meeting. Today I've got 2 live meetings, the afternoon and evening. I got 2 live meetings. It doesn't matter what happens, but what we do to get them there is we don't just verbally vomit all over them. We say enough, just enough to get their appetite wet and get them to the spot that's necessary. and we help them to get it. And I don't know what your line is, but obviously with Songstagram, as well as our online gaming, online global entertainment brand, you need to say something, become good at what you say. You know, it doesn't matter, but what you need to do is get them to a place where they can actually go out there and say, I would like to make residual income with a company that's focused on customer acquisition, that's here to stay, sustain itself long term, that has absolutely unique, sexy, hot, and really zero competition. And it's a situation where you need to get them to the exposure. Let the third-party person do the presentation. No matter who you are in this company, the third party is very, very – even if I'm doing the meeting, we build it. It doesn't matter who's doing it. I went to a Las Vegas event last week, and Tony did a phenomenal job at the meeting. We build it for the event. It does not matter who does. Don't let your ego get in the way of success. Exposure, exposure, exposure. You can control how many people you talk to. You can't control if they're going to sign up or not, but you're going to do 10 exposures a week, 20 exposures a week, 5 a week, whatever's in your wheelhouse, 20, 30, 40. Make sure you get that done. You can control how many times you show the business, but what you can't control is how many people will sign up. Make sure you do that and don't do a good job of it. Also building for events, whether it's the Las Vegas, we have Hawaii next weekend in Honolulu, an event going on Thursday night and Friday night in Honolulu. We have business opportunity meetings going on out there, and CEO Rick Mikey is going to be out there. Again, building for events. It's show value, teach people how to do it, get people to the events. We got Anaheim, we had Vegas, now we got Hawaii. There's plenty of great events going on out there. Find out where the events are, and again, we'll work with you and help teach each and every one of you to share and build for events, become good at that. Now, we're trying to find out the 125 cycles. So we've got to become aware of what it takes to get the 125 cycles. You know, the BV required is on your pay leg. That's your smallest leg. Now, remember, when you first start out, you may have no BV on either side. But with that, if you don't make it 1 month, the smaller leg cycles and you get paid. The larger leg banks. So there's bank volume. The volume does not flush. As long as you stay active, and you're emperor, you're going to stay active for a year. If you're a high roller and you're looking at high rollers or emperors, the only two positions that have the ability to make leadership ranks, and we're talking those, you must do your 100 BV auto ship or 75 in the U.S. auto ship every single month to make sure you're there and stay active and your volume won't go away. On the lesser leg, it's 37,500 BV. It's 13 emperors. That's 130 cycles, by the way. It could be 10 emperors and 21 high rollers. That's 125 cycles. 8 emperors, so 25 high rollers with 11 players somewhere within in your entire team, not all by you. It's about duplication, about you getting 1 or 2 people to do what you've done. They get 1 or 2 people to do what you both have done, and then you go out there and you create a massive team going forward, and all of a sudden the volume just keeps rolling in. And again, people go out there and do things. And it's not just by bringing people in. It's people who are actually staying active. It's about people who are going out there and doing our products that have BV on it, and adding that into the residual income. But know what it takes. Just have some idea and know what it takes, so on and so forth. I know what it takes, 125 cycles, and we just need to do the math and figure it out and make sure you have the volume necessary to do 125 cycles and teach others on your team. The only way you're going to do this simply, or the best way, nothing simple, it takes focus and work, but it's going out there and getting a team of people to do it with you. Now, key number 1, again, I talk about this being aware. It's so, so key. You know, what does it take to accomplish the goal of 125 cycles in a calendar month? You know, it takes focus, it takes determination. It takes you to have the ability to go out there and track it. You know, your i2G virtual back office, you know, has it. For $19.95, you get all kinds of tools. You got a genealogy tab there, and I would go to the extended binary view report, and it'll tell you. It shows you what you have going on, who's got volume. You know, you can try to say, hey, you got X amount of volume on your right side. You're going to cycle 10 times, 5 times, 3 times, whatever happens to be. Show people what they need to do to go out there, and they do it by Friday at 3 o'clock Pacific, 5 Central, or 6 o'clock Eastern. They're going to go out there at the end of the week and cycle enough time so they can get paid the very next week. At the end of a month, which is this Monday, the end of this month of Monday at the end of this month, the end of a month happens to be midnight Central Time, 10 p.m. Pacific, and 1 a.m. Eastern. Closes out the month. So again, you have till the end of the month to make 125 cycles. It's a calendar month. So Friday at 5 is not the deadline Central Time. It's midnight Central Time, Central Time here in the United States, on the end of the month that'll allow you to go out there and get the cycles that you need. You must understand that. So again, if you don't know it, attend a webinar. either by i2G or one of the upline leaders. They do a lot of great training to show you how to work your back office. Learn that back office, and again, that may be one of the things you want to do in your success plan with somebody is tell them and show them what they need to do to be successful to go through their back office. Now, again, when you work in a month, make sure the cycles, you're obviously seeing where they are, and don't be surprised if somebody's like 40 or 50 or 60 cycles away, and it's like 5 or 6 days, they can absolutely do that. That's 5 or 6 people coming in at Emperor. These are things that can happen instantly, quickly. We've seen volume happen in days. So again, don't ever give up. If somebody really wants it, give it your best shot and work it all the way to the last hours, and you'll be very surprised what you're willing to do. Make sure that you have personally active. To get to the bronze level in this compensation plan, you must have 5 personally active on each side. Now, this is a good thing. 5 active left and a 5 active right at any position. Normally, a lot of compensation plans that make you have, somebody who's a silver on one side and at least a gold on the other side, or a ruby or an emerald or something. No, you're just talking about 5 active. They can be 5, novices, players, high rollers, emperors, does not matter. 5 active left, 5 active personally sponsored right. So again, both 5 and 5 and 125 cycles gets you into the leadership ranks minimum. And again, we're teaching the bare minimum because I'm going to explain to you why. If you teach the minimum, you're going to get the maximum. Teaching the minimum will get you the maximum. And again, how many cycles do you personally need to get to reach your goal? Stay aware and work the month. Stay focused, okay? Now, what you want to do is create momentum. That's what we did. Basically, everyone said, what happened in August? You got started and it happened in August. We went out and created momentum. We identified who wants to create wealth now. That's what you need to do in the business. Who wants to create wealth now? In August, we talked about it, and Dennis DeVorn wanted to create wealth now. He was in a position where he needed wealth now in August. Went out there, and a few of us made silver the very first month, and we're excited about it, and his income was good. But what we did really was we broke a barrier. Make it a habit. Again, that key word of breaking a barrier. We broke a barrier in August. And the barrier was 125 cycles. And when we hit 125 cycles, only a few of us who did it. In September, the very next month, 22 other people did a minimum of 125 cycles. Many of them had far exceeded that number. But again, they said, hey, if they can do it, we can do it. And it became a tsunami of people moving forward, which created momentum. It's people who create volume, create momentum, equals checks. People, volume, momentum, checks. It's the key to success. And again, you must set a plan of action to achieve 125 cycles with as many people as possible. The more you give that plan to, the more success and the more you get the forward motion of movement that will create momentum. Teamwork will make the dream work. Without teamwork, it is difficult to make the dream work. This is not about one person pushing the rock up the hill. It's a team of people going out there and lifting each other up to success. You help others reach their goals, you'll get your goals. Look for people on each side of your team to go out there and focus and help them. And when you do that and you focus, you just repeat it. So you say, what do you do next month? Whether you've made it or you did not make it, it doesn't matter. You're going to be happy and where you are, but not content. Then we're going the next month, but we're going to learn. We have learned from our actions, and we're going to continue moving forward. Remember, it doesn't matter how fast you get there. It doesn't matter how slow you get there. It just matters that you keep moving forward. Focus and repeat is key. And go out there. And again, I call this plan. You do it, and then no matter whether you're successful or not, you review it. Focus and repeat. You got to do the fundamentals over and over again. What are the fundamentals? Show and share the business. That's what it's about. Showing and sharing the business. Following up, the fortunes in the follow-up. You're good at following up. And then, of course, if they're ready to go, ask them to get started. Get them your link and put them in the proper space. And we can talk about, again, your structure in another training. But, again, follow up and close. And then set up the next planning session with a new person right away. Most of you guys are missing this step. Set up, they've given you the money. That's when they most are excited. That's when they're probably going to run right to their list of people, and they're going to verbally vomit all over them, and they're not going to do the correct things. You need to find out what they want. If they're a player, if they're coming in at an emperor or high roller or whatever, even a novice, but they're just that's what their level is. We know Tony from Las Vegas' story came in at the lower level. He wanted it bad. He wanted to make a lot of money, but that was his financial situation. But if you do a plan, you know that, and then you can give them this 125 cycles. They say, well, I'm only I'm not quite a high roller or an emperor yet. Then you work them up. But again, you won't know that until you set a plan. And I think this is one of the biggest mistakes. When someone signs up a new member, they don't even plan with them. They just say, get somebody on the next event, get them to the next meeting, get them to the next call, and they don't do a plan of them, and they're not aware of what they really want. And you push people to your plan, and you force them into your goals, which will force them out of the business. People want a plan designed around what they want. You need to listen. You need to get what they want and actually explain to them what's productive and not prepare. A lot of people say, I worked extremely hard this month. I've made videos for Instagram. I've been on the online gaming site. I've done this. I've done that every webinar. And you realize they've done nothing productive. They haven't shown anybody. They've just prepared all month. And so they should expect them. Preparation doesn't pay. Productive pays. Be aware, focus, and repeat. Again, don't want to repeat. Again, plan, do, review. You don't repeat what's unsuccessful. Repeat what is successful. But again, you must go on and review it so you know what's successful or not. The reason why we teach, here's the leadership bonuses. Again, I have the volumes in there. 125 cycles is bronze. That's the volume on the weaker leg, and then with both legs minimum. But again, you can go into a month with a lot of bank volume or some bank volume. So you have to do this on the minimum of your weakest leg. 125. If you teach 125 cycles to the newest person and over and over and over, just hit the 125. The reason why we don't call it anything else, because it just doubles to be silver. 2 months in a row, 125 gets you bronze. 2 months in a row, doubling, 250, 500, 1,000, 2,000. It's a little bit harder to get the diamond. But if you go out there and you just teach the minimum, and you have first, maybe, like I said, we started with a few people in August, up to 22 people in September who hit it. And then those 22, there was 30 new people in October that hit 125. So what did this other 24, 25 people in August, September? We were going, it started momentum. It didn't happen with a couple of people. Just a few people started to run, and that's what's going to happen now. We're going to start a huge run that's going to be 10 times bigger, at least I believe 5 to 10 times greater than the first momentum. But again, just teach the basic minimum and teach the new person the basics. Once they get to 100 and they know how to do 125 cycles, what it takes, they just got to double it. They can get all the way to diamond, the road to diamond. And remember, this is what I consider the driver of the comp plan. These are targets for you to get this 5,000, 10,000, 25,000, 50,000, 100,000, and 500,000 one-time bonuses, but it's a target. And you get a bonus, and this will end up becoming the smallest part of your check, these bonuses, because but it gives you a target. And what I love about this is the binary income says cycle a lot. The matching bonus says teach others how to cycle a lot. So you're already in the psychology of cycling a lot, and the leadership is just synergistically working together and showing you how to cycle a lot to get paid. So put yourself in a great position to be successful. Go out there, and again, this is how you do it. This is the method of operation. Month number 1 is your qualifying month. That's the first month, 125 cycles. So you go out there, and it's the most important month because it sets the tone. You need to get out there and learn how to do it. And once you break that barrier, again, it becomes something you can do, and you'll teach others to do it. It gets you in a position to qualify for leadership. Month number 2 is the effective month. That's the month that you get paid after you did the second month. It confirms your rank advancement, solidifies your leadership bonuses. You must have 5 active on the right and 5 active on the left in month 1, and 5 active on the left and 5 active on the right in month 2. Make sure all things are lined up. Don't just worry about cycles. Make sure you're personally active. And what's important is this, is you're in a team. And this is very, very important. As you're working your month, we need to, the key word is communicate. In any relationship, whether it's a business relationship or personal relationship, communication is key. I would say inform it. If you don't get to inform your sponsor, make sure you inform 2 people. Have your sponsor inform their sponsor. At least 2 people are involved in somebody in the upline. And usually there's more than that. And leaders all dig deep, and we help everyone so they can out there and help you. So they know you're going to qualify and whether you're an effective month. You know, it's very, very, very important because we're looking for synergy. Synergy for leadership is important. It drives the cycles and builds the matching checks, which allows you to get leadership bonuses. But what you have to become is make this a habit of hitting 125 cycles. That is key. Determination is key. And again, I say I will persist until I succeed. You're in the business of leading a volunteer army, and that's important. People want to be led. You know, if again, you look at the best voluntary thing I can describe is basically New Year's. Everyone wants to go out there and lose weight. That's their New Year's resolution. I'm going to lose weight. And you go to a health club, you join a gym, and you can't even find anywhere to work out. All the machines are taken. They're busy. No matter when you go, it's always, crazy busy. January, February, busy. Going somewhere in the middle of March, the gym is empty, and you can shoot a cannon through the gym, and you won't find anybody. And why? Because it's voluntary. But if their boss or their double SOB tells them you must lose 20 pounds or you lose your job, they will be in there doing it. You must lead people to get to where they want to go. They must believe, but you got to gain your beliefs onto them and get them to get to where they need to go in their belief level. You have to have unwavering belief. You must be the most positive because all else dilutes from the leadership. So again, it must be you must lead from the front and teach others how to do that and become successful at it. We are sitting at a banquet of abundance, everybody. It's important that you must understand we're at a banquet of abundance here at i2G. We're at a place and a time I've never seen before. I don't believe there's ever been an opportunity of the lifetime that could change people's lives like infinity to global. But what you need to understand is there are going to be people who are going to come to this banquet of abundance, and they're not going to get their fair share. They're going to get less than their fair share. So you need to be, as a leader, and we're talking to leadership ranks here, you need to want more than your fair share. You need to say, I want more than my fair share. Come to this banquet. I want to get full. I want to take as much from the table, leave nothing on the table, and go out there and run right through these leadership ranks and learn to duplicate that habit. Be aware of who's going out there and understand that your habit, again, is going to create your behaviors, and you must have determination and persistence. The determination and persistence will overcome any obstacle that you have. The determination is someone who's moving forward, will get up and will learn from whatever failures they have. I failed my way forward. That's how I got successful. I didn't get college educated. I don't have degrees. I don't know what a syllabus is, whatever that is. I don't even know what that is. But I can tell you what I do know. I do know how to go out there and make a point. I do know how to help others do that. And I also do know that it takes great leadership and great people to have it. I have unwavering belief in this company, this opportunity, and you need to have that. And if you don't have it instilled in you, and if you're not worried about problems, I'm going to tell you this right now, work on problems. And the great solution is this. You need to go out there, and 75 to 80% of the time, you must be building your business. About 15 to 20% of the time, you go out there and you work on training your team. And a 5% or less on problems. And again, make sure the problems get passed on, but you can't spend a whole lot of time. Some people you can give 1 hour to. Some people you can't even give 1 minute to. Be aware of that because you end up spending hours and hours and days with the wrong people, and then the month comes up or the next month comes up and you're not achieving your goal. Most of the time you're spending the wrong time with the wrong people, or you're staying on the same person and you're forgetting to go sponsor and work with new people and bring them in and get a new plan of success. It's very exciting because you see the business through the eyes of a new person, and that is the lifeblood of our business. The newest person is the lifeblood of our new business. When you see their excitement and their awe of what they just joined and signed up for, you're going to actually get excited again. We went out there and together we helped set some plans in motion, all of us, and our partners and him, and we went out there and got to work, and he's done extremely well. He set the pace, to be upfront with you. He set the pace in the beginning. We're glad to work with him. Please welcome Emerald executive with our company, Mr. Dennis Devorn. Dennis, are you online?
Yes, I am, Rich. Can you hear me?
Very well, sir.
Okay, and thanks for everybody being on the call this morning. Very good, Richard. Very wise a roadmap to success. You really want to abide by what Richard is talking about. It's the way we made our money and the way people in the future, since us and the future people are going to make their money as well. And it's really important to use the tools. You know, when Richard talks about exposure, I mean, this is really important not to talk too much. You know, you just want to have a little line that gets people's attention, and we've got something special because it's not the same old, same old. So it does get people's attention. And then you want to refer them to a live meeting. That's the best thing. Otherwise, you could, and by the way, if you don't have a live meeting in your city, you can invite people over to your house, and you can push play. That's duplicatable. That's easy because we've got tools now that we didn't have when Richard and I started back in the old days, 6 months ago. And we've got video. We got a 10-minute video that does the same thing as a 45-minute meeting or webinar. And so just have people come to your house, you push play, they watch it, and then you make sure you arrange for your sponsor or upline or some kind of upline support more experienced than you to answer the questions after the and do a testimonial after the event. You can have that on a speakerphone. Just invite people over to your house. It's real simple. That's how these big hotel meetings start. When we have 500 people, they just don't all show up. They came from different cities where they had small meetings or house meetings, home parties, whatever you want to call it. You want to expose it that way. Even Richard and I can give the whole 45-minute presentation, but we don't do it. We just refer people to the video. The video is like 10 minutes long. You want to lead with your best foot forward. You can't do a better job. Even Richard and I, we can't do all the graphics and have a professional announcer and get all the points across. But the video does all that without having to set up a screen and all this other stuff. So you can easily do that, and I'd say use that video a lot, and you'll get people that see it. They're gonna, you can't say the wrong thing to the right person, and you can't say the right thing to the wrong person. So it's all about exposure. And sometimes you'll get lucky, and you'll get someone like Richard and myself. You only need someone like that on one side and someone on the other side, and you'll make the same kind of money we're making. Maybe it'll take you 100 people before you reach that one person that takes off and does it. Some people will take a spot and they'll want to, get a part of the pool and all that stuff. But you're looking for some people that are going to duplicate and they're going to work the business by exposing what Richard said. And the timetable for the month, the first day, 10 days, the second 10 days, the next 10 days, you really got to work with the people that you know are working. You have to identify those people. So it's very important to use the tools and not to talk. Some of the smartest people make a mistake by trying to explain the whole thing because they studied it for whatever length of time and they know it and they can't wait to show their knowledge, and that's not what this is about. It's not that is not duplicatable. Now you've got them to take the next step, which is not you giving the presentation. It's actually them getting into a live meeting or a webinar or the 10-minute video. And that all you have to do is email it to them. You give them a heads up. You don't want to blast that thing out because nobody's going to look at it. There's too much stuff out there. It's just going to be buried. But if you give somebody a heads up that it's coming, and that's how I did the business in the beginning because we didn't even have that tool. We just had we just had a conference call maybe once or twice a week, and sometimes it was recorded. That's it. That's all we had. We didn't have meetings. We didn't have video. We didn't have webinars. Didn't have any of that stuff. Didn't have a slideshow. None of that. Okay, so we didn't have the visuals that you guys have now. So in a way, it's a lot easier to expose the business than it was when we first started. And so you can get those 125 cycles. Don't get intimidated by that number. It's just 13 emperors. And also, it's not you. And none of this is you. It's all a team. In other words, if you really have somebody that sees it like you, and they have somebody that also sees it like them, now you've got a team. And that's how you get to bronze, silver, gold, ruby, emerald, and diamond eventually. You have to have a team. Just let's take diamond, for example. If you have a team, and some of them are going for silver, and some of them are going for gold. And all you do is help them to accomplish that by, dividing the month into 3 sections. You don't want to start to try to do everything that you should be doing the first 10 days, the last 10 days of the month, because you'll get nowhere fast. But you want to start to focus with those people who are really going to do it. And so you want to start to expose the business by talking less to more people. So the less words you use and talk to more people, that's how you're going to really be successful in this business. That's what Richard did. That's what I do. So that's what it's about. You want to talk less to more people. You want to use the tools, and you want to obviously follow up with 3 ways. That's what the fortune is at in the follow-up. Okay, so we've got it all in place. It's getting better and better and better, and you really haven't seen nothing yet. The company will not look the same a year from now as it does now. Back to you, Richard. Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot, Dennis. I appreciate that. And everybody, I know you who are texting in and chatting in. The 10-minute video, if you're on the email list, ignite125@gmail.com or i2G@gmail.com. We'll email the 10-minute video. We're doing a new one. Susan and her did one. We'll do another one as well. Totally approved by the company, but right now we'll get that out to you guys. So again, some of you were asking, we'll get that out there. I want to just say a couple things real quick in closing. We had a gentleman who joined last week, Wednesday, and so we talking about making a habit of 125 cycle. And Dennis talked about some of the biggest check earners. Well, he's going to do 125 by Monday, so he'll have the first month done from Wednesday to Monday. 5 active left, 5 active right, 125 cycles. And he's on his way and rolling, and he did that in 5 days. So again, is it possible? Absolutely. Can everyone do it? I don't know, but it's possible, and that's all you need to know, that it is possible. Again, we're going to email all this out, and again, this recording, we'll work on it and get it out to you. And I'll just close what I opened with. I'm going to say in reverse order. Make the habit of getting 125 cycles become a habit and teaching it to others. We first make our habits, then our habits make us. Habits are the intersection of knowledge, what to do, and skill, how to do, and most importantly, desire, want to do. How badly do you want this? With that being said, I look forward to talking to everyone in the future. Thank you very much. Great job, Dennis. Great job, everybody. And let's go out and make this an absolutely wonderful close of the month. And again, let's keep focusing on it, and let's make this a habit. Thank you very much. Bye-bye, everybody.